right, for more on that story, we're now joined by Margaret Nyambura, who's a Kenyan health lawyer based right here in Nairobi, Kenya. Margaret, welcome to Africa Live and thank you for joining us. What more can you tell us about this deal, which has generated plenty of reaction here in Kenya, as well as the implications of the High Court suspension of the deal?
Thanks for having me, sir. So we have seen the public outcry that has come from the two petitions that have been filed in court, one by the Consumer Federation of Kenya, citing data protection and privacy concerns, mostly because there were no adequacy assessments, no lawful safeguards, non-compliance with statutory conditions in the Health Act on how confidential information is, especially when it regards sensitive health data, and also the fact that the particular regulations that are concerned with exchange of data cross-border were not taken into consideration during the deal making. This is very evident from the fact that there was no sharing of a data impact assessment reports, and that's one of the things that the COFEC, the Consumer Federation of Kenya, is asking for. The other petition that has been filed by a senator who was previously a human rights advocate, and it cites the procedural defaults of the agreement in the fact that there was no compliance with Article 10 measures. That was public participation, rolling in the participation of parliament. So it's not just an executive function, but instead the people should have also participated in the process. So what the court said on Friday, is that the agreement should not be actualized as far as the data sharing components are concerned, but it was silent on any other issues because they were not brought before the court.
Margaret, let me just ask you here, what exactly is it about data and privacy that Kenyans are concerned with, and is there, looking forward, a way out possibly for the government?
Yes. So even looking at the court documents which were filed, some of the prayers that are being made by the Consumer Federation of Kenya is that the government ought to provide a data impact assessment report just showing what components of the 4 disease areas, HIV, tuberculosis, malaria, and even just the pathogen sharing agreements. We have heard from our ministry officials that Kenya was able to sit out the component on sharing of pathogen data, but then we are not so sure. We are waiting to see during the actual implementation of the agreement.
Right, and we do know that Kenya isn't a standalone case here. Why are we seeing more African countries signing similar deals, and do you expect any pushback from these countries as well?
We have seen Uganda civil society push back against the potential signing with their governments. The letter that has also been circulating to the African heads of state is also to just prevent a similar signing. So you will realize that an economy like the Kenyan economy is strong enough to negotiate for terms which are more concerned with the human rights aspects of its Kenyans, although the agreements are silent on human rights safeguards at all. Kenya is just one of the African countries that was hardly hit by the exit of USAID projects and would greatly benefit from financial support towards supporting the health financing component. And therefore, African countries are in a position where they would gladly accept the agreements that have been signed because of the financial support that is coming in.
All right, Margaret, thank you very much for your time. Margaret Nyambura, who's a Kenyan health lawyer, speaking to us live from Nairobi.